people, and welcome. I have a really awesome plan with me for you this month, October. I decided to do a moon slash bird theme. You can see I only use really simple supplies. I've got some color of the world markers and a black pen and a gray marker. And so if you just have a couple of things on hand and just need something that's simple and easy that doesn't take much time, then this is the theme for you. For October, in my husband's bullet journal, I did a complicated drawing, even though all the spreads were really simple. But for mine this month, I just wanted to keep everything simple because I like to do little drawings throughout the month with my weeklies and my notes from my meetings. And I just wanted to keep it light and airy. So I used just 3 markers. This little black one I actually just got from Amazon. There's a little pack of 12, and so far I like them pretty good. I wanted to get them for brush lettering, but so far I've just used them to draw. It has a bullet tip end and then a soft brush tip end, and that's actually what I used for the birds on the line. And then I used that bullet tip end for most of everything because even though I really like my precise V5 RT pen, it smudges sometimes, and I didn't want to have any mistakes because I knew I was going to be using the ruler a lot for these spreads. Just with the crisp line of the circle for the moon, I thought to go along with that, all of the boxes and the weeklies and things like that it needed crisp lines to complement as well. So on the opposing side to my cover page, I like to make a memories page, and I divide it by week, and that way if several things happened in one day, I can write it down, or if something wasn't so memorable about a specific day, I don't feel guilty not having something there. And I like to have them together because when you look at the beautiful cover page, you also have all of the beautiful memories from that month. As always, my next page is my calendar. Again, I'm using that ruler to get really crisp lines. For the gray marker, I'm using an Amazon Basics pen that came in like a 12 or 16 pack, which has the same bullet tip fine on the other side. So you can see that I have a really big different variety of supplies that I have for this theme. Using that thicker bullet tip end, I'm making some lines for my calendar. At the top, I just did 2 lines close to each other to make a space for the titles of the week, each day, and in closing the calendar, this month was a little frustrating because Monday took up a whole row, and I didn't want just like a little day sticking out the bottom of the calendar. I decided to go ahead and make a whole row, but it's okay because every month you have a little bit of a different challenge of how you're going to lay out your calendar and how it looks and what you're going to do around it. So I do like the challenge. After putting the days of the week, I decided to put next to it the moon phases for that week. I looked it up for Belize because I know it's different around the world, and since I'm here, I took the 4 phases and I put them by the weeks that they will happen. And I think it's kind of a cool thing because we just moved, and I don't know what the difference is, but I just have been noticing the moon so much more lately. Maybe it's because we have a little bit more of a view, and it seems like in the nights when it is full, it is so bright. And I've really been enjoying watching the different phases of the moon, and I want to kind of focus on that this month. And so maybe that's why I picked this theme, along with the simplicity. And also another reason why it all just came together for me is I had this gray marker right next to this light almond colors of the world marker on my desk, and I was like, oh, those look perfect together. And the idea with the birds actually came from scrolling through Pinterest. There was some nail art, and so it's funny how all these ideas come together, but at the end of it, I'm really happy. Okay, so this next couple of pages together, I normally have a dashboard and then a sleep habits mood tracker, and I decided to combine all of them together. The first page was my notes page, so instead of a full moon, I did a crescent moon, and now I'm doing a full moon, and I'm making a couple of boxes for different categories that I need. You can put anything you want or make different sizes of boxes that you need. I normally also have a prayer section, so this time I'm pretty excited about my little idea that I put it inside of the moon. And I really like writing down my prayers because I have a bad memory, and sometimes I get too hard on myself, like if I have forgotten to pray for something. And at first I thought it was kind of wrong, or maybe like a sin to write your prayers down, but we've been really encouraged to do that, not only from the convention, but some of the articles that have been coming out lately. And also it's a really nice record to have on hand that you're able to check off some of the prayers that are answered. And I really encourage you to try it if it's not something that you've done before. Okay, so you see how I opened up the page in between because I skipped 2 pages between my notes page and my dashboard along with my prayers. And in here, I'm making my habits, my mood, and my sleep tracker. I keep the same sleep and mood tracker every month. It works so good for me. I see how some people draw these beautiful drawings and then they color different aspects of it, but for me I really like the chart. I like to see the statistics, the raw data, and so I use the same method where I have a line that goes across to each dot for my hours of sleep from 0 to 10, but then I draw a little circle in the middle of the box for my mood, and that's how I'm able to track them together. And I think it's nice because you can see how one can affect the other. I didn't have much space, so I downsized my habit tracker from, I think I had 8 last month to 4, and I think it might help me actually because trying to focus on too many things is a little overwhelming. Then I also feel guilty that I haven't done as much, even though I know I can't. Why do we set ourselves up for failure like that? Anyhow, I cut off the edges of the habit and mood tracker so that you can see peeping behind the crescent moon and the full moon. And using the little cutoff paper I used to mark the curve of the corners because I don't have one of those fancy punches. There's so many cool stationery supplies out there, but we don't have access to it very much here in Belize. And so I have to come up with, low budget, easy, at home remedies for some of the problems that come with journaling. So on the outside of my little tracker, I'm going to make basically like a 2 lines a day, but instead of that, I'm focusing on my viewpoint of Jehovah God and then also his viewpoint of me. The first one is titled Be Thankful For, so I can think about specific things that happened that day that I think is a blessing, that I can, show my gratitude for. But then this other one, I did it for the first time this last month in September, and I really enjoyed it. Jehovah loves me because, and so then I can focus on, even if I don't feel like a lot of good happened that day specifically, I can focus on myself and what I tried to do, my effort, my resilience, my thought patterns, what I worked on so that I could make God happy. And so that's what I'm going to try to do, to put the 2 together and see if I can just make a little more complete overview of how I'm trying to be the best Christian I can be. But I really like how the dashboard and the trackers came together. Next page is my personal study page. Every month I like to make a specific theme and work on it. I really didn't know what to pick, but then one of the recent watchtowers that came out, we actually are going to be studying it in the near future, but it talked about the reasons why we should love the truth. And the paragraph at the end of the article suggests that you do more study to develop that love for the truth even more, because the truth is what sets us free, and we have to hold on to it tight. And so I'm going to make a little chart on this, and I'm kind of excited. I've never done a study like that before. And here's our last 2-page spread. I can't believe we're already here. This is my little weekly, and I kind of decided to put all the information that I need for each day together. So that's why I made some really big boxes for each day. My weeklies for my last month, I had everything a little more separated, where my daily Bible reading were in their own boxes and the tasks were in the other. But I think I'm going to go back to this for a little while and see if I can try to, be a little more organized, see if this helps me. And instead of a mini calendar, I made a little notes page, again doing little birds on the power line through the middle. And if you want to see how I do the birds in a closer up video, check out my Instagram, LookintheNooks. It's in the link down below, and I have some closer tutorials on how to make the little birds. They're really simple shapes, but it is nice to be able to see it up close. Thank you for sticking around for the entire video. If you made it to the end, please put a moon emoji in the comments below so I can give you a thumbs up and show you some love. And I hope you have a wonderful October, and I will see you guys in my next video.